At first glance, the book of Ruth doesn't seem very appealing. It opens with fear and worry, loss, and grief, which is not exactly the kind of story that you're excited to read. But if we're honest, those are the very things that so many of us deal with in real life. We can all relate to seasons where life hits hard and emotions pile up, and we don't even know how to process what we're feeling. We only know that we feel stuck and hopeless. Life is messy, it's hard, and it's heavy. And in those moments, it can feel like there's no way out. And that's exactly where the book of Ruth begins. Ruth is a short book with only 4 chapters, but it carries so much weight. We don't actually know who wrote the book. Jewish tradition sometimes credits Samuel, but scripture actually doesn't name an author. What we do know is that the story was written with purpose. It wasn't accidental. It's meant to show us how God works, often quietly and often behind the scenes, especially in ordinary lives and painful circumstances. The story takes place during the time of the Judges, one of the darkest periods in Israel's history. Everyone was doing what was right in their own eyes. Faith felt really weak. Hope was hard to find. But right there in the middle of a hard season for the nation, God chooses to tell a small, personal story about a grieving family, a foreign woman, and a series of ordinary decisions that would change everything. As you read Ruth, you'll see key moments unfold: a season of famine, a devastating loss, a courageous decision to stay when leaving would have been so much easier, and small acts of faithfulness that don't seem important at first, but those are the very moments that God uses. Nothing flashy or loud, just obedience, loyalty, kindness, and trust, one step at a time. There are so many themes woven throughout this book. You'll see God's provision when there seems to be nothing left. You'll see redemption after deep loss. You'll see loyalty, love, and faithfulness displayed in such beautiful ways. And over again, you'll see God honoring the faith of ordinary people who choose to trust Him when life just didn't make sense. And this is where Ruth fits into the bigger story of the Bible. What seems like a small, sad story is actually part of God's much larger redemptive plan. This book quietly traces the line that leads straight to King David and ultimately to Jesus. It's a reminder that God is always working toward redemption, even when the story feels small or painful in the moment. The purpose of Ruth for the original audience and for us today is to show that God is faithful, even when His people are weary. And He's sovereign, even when circumstances feel out of control. He is able to redeem anything, no matter how broken, ordinary, or hopeless it may seem. So, as you dive into Ruth, keep your eyes open. Watch for God's favor in unexpected places. Notice His protection in the quiet moments that you might otherwise overlook. Pay attention to His timing, at how people meet at just the right moment, and how things line up in ways that feel too intentional to be random. This is the kind of story that will make you stop and say, wait, did God just do that? And by the end, you'll see how He brings life out of loss and hope out of heartbreak. Our hope is that you follow God's hand in Ruth's story, and you'll start noticing how He's at work in your own life too. His timing is perfect. His care is constant, and nothing is ever really a coincidence. He is guiding every step.